So I am getting myself a little bit of vitamin D. I figured I would multitask, give myself a topic here to talk about, and maybe you guys could share also if you want to discuss. Um, but the topic would be what caused my hair loss? What caused your hair loss? I do have my Invisalign in case you're wondering about my altered speech there. The cause of my hair loss was the birth control pill Loestrin FE, which I got off of in 1999, and that is where it all began. Pill, I think, is the cause of many women's hair loss, in my opinion, um, and probably women that don't even know. Um, I had actually, I think the body is complicated. I'd been on this pill in college for a short time. I got on it, off it with no issue, and then I was on it for less than a year, sometime between the age of 20 and 21, and got off. I believe it was, well, no, my hair loss started June of 1999, so I must have got off the pill about 3 months prior to that. Um, and I, it just never, it never fixed itself. But, this brings me to something. Okay, so that's like, okay, that's what caused my hair loss. But I want to actually say something that may be a benefit to somebody listening to this if they stumble across it. I think sometimes we leap too fast into treatment of our hair loss. That is something that I regretted doing for myself. I was so panicked and so desperate at what was happening and felt so out of control that I basically did everything. I tried everything, whatever. I was willing. I did the minoxidil, propecia. I got on Aldactone. Totally regretted that. I swore I'd never get back on the pill, but a year later I was singing a different tune, and probably maybe less than a year later. And I was from a specialist, a really highly regarded specialist in this field, and they were like, well, you could stabilize your hormones if you get back on the pill, a hair-friendly one, as though that exists. Plenty of people, by the way, cite the pill that I got back on and many others, which was I got back on orthotricycline as the cause of their hair loss, and they cite Diane 35 and they cite Yasmin, and I don't really think there's such thing as a hair-friendly pill. That's just my opinion. But anyway, so in desperation, I got back on it. Totally regretted that. I was stuck on two things. I was stuck on Aldactone, and I was stuck on the birth control pill till 2013, because at that time I had started wearing wigs already. So in 2012, so I had that to support for myself in my mind, and then also I had been doing PRP since 2009. I figured that would help the shedding, but I was stuck on these medications because I knew what happened the first time when I got off the pill, and I didn't have the hair I felt in my mind to sustain another shed or the mental ability to cope with that. So I was stuck. I didn't get the freedom to do so until 2013, and I did it right after I had a PRP session, and I knew I had wigs, and so yeah. But I think I remember. So I used to write a lot on my site, and in 2007 or 2000, maybe 2008, somebody had written, and they had asked. They didn't know what to do. They were kind of in a similar situation as me, and they didn't know if they wanted to. They were at that point where they might get back on the pill, which it's you can't really advise what another person should do. You have to make the choice that you can live with, and that's what I always say. It's like, make the decision that you can live with. And but I did tell her that if I could go back in time, I would have given myself. It sounds like a long time, and it is years for my body to potentially recover before considering getting back on a pill, which I don't think is a good idea. But before even that consideration, what would I have been okay like a year or 2 years later if I had just waited it out? I didn't even give my body the fair fighting chance. When you're in that moment every day and every week and every month, it's forever. So I thought I waited a sufficient amount of time. I didn't think I did. And hair cycles are slow and the whole thing. So I didn't give myself a fair shot to recover myself. But did I do myself more damage? I will never know. Did I make sure I had hair loss forever? I will never know. But what I did tell her, what I did tell other people, it's that I would definitely give myself the ability to see if I would heal prior to jumping into treatments. if I had a do-over. While it's important to, you want to get a jump on treating your hair loss, if that's right, you're going to go. I think it's also important to give your body a chance to see if it's going to fix itself. And with this particular person, I'm really thinking about, I'm citing that story because years later, I already forgot about all this, she came back and she updated a comment on that, and she wanted to let people know that her hair resolved itself. So she went from that midst of being, losing her hair and not knowing what's going on, got off the pill, and for her it recovered. And that is the case, by the way, for some women. They do have that. They're in that time frame of shedding, like postpartum shedding. It goes, it comes, and it's, you're one of the lucky ones. It took her longer, though. She was outside of the scope of that pocket of when it's supposed to come back. She waited it out, though, and years down the line, she came back to say she was fine. All normal. And I was like, really wonder if that would have been me. So I don't know if that information helps anybody, but I don't think there's a downside to ever hearing, somebody else's viewpoint or their thought process when you're in something that's so complicated. So that was a longer video than my topic, which was what caused my hair loss. Birth control pill caused my hair loss. Loestrin FE, 1999. If you want to share what caused your hair loss, leave a comment below. If you don't know, you could leave that as well. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.